Town Council regular meeting for February 3rd, 2020.
Roll call.
Roll call, please, yes.
Counselor Gardner.
Present.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Present.
Counselor Schoen.
Present.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Present.
And President Mellon.
Present.
Thank you.
At this time, please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, that brings us to the 45th Street construction update. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. So how are we doing?
Now we're doing better.
Okay, good.
We're progressing. As far as the underpass itself, they continue to excavate. Assume that there's probably maybe another 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks yet to remove. As of the end of last week, I think there was close to 25,000 cubic yards yet to remove. Depth-wise, I don't know what that means. It's still quite the big dig. But then following, of course, that operation, then they will, as mentioned before, resume the relief well installations, and then the storm structures as well, so that those relief wells get tied into the lift station itself. Also, what has been ongoing is lighting, roadway lighting installation on 45th at Southwood, as well as 45th west of Calumet. So those light poles and luminaires are now installed. The light poles and luminaires at Southwood are basically complete. We're waiting for NIPSCO. We've submitted the documents. I meet with them in the morning to try to get our service points. Hopefully at that point we will have the lighting at Southwood on 45th active. Again, including the remainder of that circuit. There were some outstanding or existing roadway lights that extended beyond the contract limits that were also on that circuit that were affected. And then of course, our signals also continue. The signal poles and the signal heads have been installed at Southwood. At this point, the signal poles and mast arms, along with the illuminated signs, have been installed at Calumet. So those will be a little bit delayed based on our activation that'll be available. But our primary goal is to get our roadway lighting installed so that we can reconnect what is existing and have that active on both ends. And I think that's about it. If you have any questions,
Any questions?
perhaps.
Did you enjoy yesterday's weather?
Yes, that was really nice. We could have had the Super
Good
Bowl in
question.
Chicago for a change, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
It would have been a good year.
I would say I'm very excited to drive down the street and see the signal poles and arms. I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of lost sight of the fact that our lights are hanging from wires, and boy, how much better this is gonna look. So it's
Yes,
really.
they weren't able to install those heads at Calumet only because of the conflict with the temporary signals that are there.
I'm just excited to have the poles.
Correct.
I mean,
So,
it's looking.
yes,
it
and
shows us what's
unfortunately,
coming.
right, and unfortunately because of our maintenance of traffic, having to shift traffic later this year for Calumet and 45th, it's probably not wise to put the signal heads on those permanent poles, because you have to adjust that to the lanes.
Mhm.
And being fixed, that probably won't span far enough, so it'll probably be like it is for the most, shouldn't say the most of this year, but until we get traffic controlled and construction on Calumet to where we don't have to move those as significantly, and they can stay within the basic lane lines.
So once you speak with NIPSCO, how soon afterwards do you think we can get the lights back up on
The lights at Southwood are
Right.
basically ready to go. We just need the service point from NIPSCO, the cabinets, all the wiring, all the connections have been made, so once we get a service point, we can connect directly to the cabinet, and that won't be ready to go. We still have some connections to do on West 45th at Calumet because of just the work that's being done in the northwest corner. There's a significant amount of utilities, as you know, along Calumet, and especially that northwest corner. So those connections aren't completely made, but that will lag. Hopefully within the next few weeks,
Good.
we'll have both segments active.
Thank you, Lee Randall from DLZ Construction.
That's correct, sorry.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to the public comment session of the meeting. 2-minute maximum per person or 5 minutes for a group spokesperson. Please keep your comments civil and constructive to public policy issues, and the chair at its sole discretion may recognize individuals wishing to speak on different topics at any time and may end the open to the public session. All speakers will be timed by the clerk treasurer, and this portion of the meeting shall not exceed 20 minutes. Is there anyone who would